everyone, welcome back to On the Fly. Today we're going to take a look at our fourth trade and our second one of the day. There will be more coming out after this video goes, as this has been a very busy day for trading. This will be our first three-team trade of the 2021 offseason review, and it's between the Nashville Predators, Philadelphia Flyers, and Vegas Golden Knights. It all started with Philly sending Felipe Myers and Nolan Patrick to the Nashville Predators for Ryan Ellis, and then the Predators traded Nolan Patrick to the Golden Knights for Cody Glass. So overall, this is a different trade. Obviously, three contenders looking for stuff that they'll need, as well as worrying about that Seattle protection spot. Obviously, Vegas is exempt from the expansion draft, so they don't quite have to worry about it. But in terms of the Predators and the Flyers, these are very much, I believe, to be expansion draft related moves, as they're trying to protect certain players. Although with Philly, they got rid of Patrick. I'm not sure why. Probably the price for Ellis, which would make sense, and Felipe Myers is just a replacement for him. Obviously, Ellis is a better defenseman than Myers is. And with them being a contender now, obviously they didn't have a great year. Carter Hart had a bad year, and everybody on that team kind of had a bad year. But once they start turning it around, you'll find that Ellis will be a major producer for them. And because of that, it's a great trade for the Flyers. And for the Predators, obviously, they're kind of the middleman in this deal. They got what they wanted with Cody Glass, basically for Ryan Ellis. Felipe Myers is kind of the throw-in here. But they won't protect him in the expansion draft, and they'll look to do that 7-3-1 protection list, which is kind of what they're looking for. With Ellis gone, they can now protect all their players. Overall, it'll help them a lot more, because then they're not losing some of their better forwards. But other than that, it's pretty much all for the expansion draft. Obviously, Vegas is still exempt. But with Nolan Patrick, he is sort of a come-and-go player. He's been bugged with migraines and headaches and kind of those head injuries, so he'll be one to watch. He's a former first-round pick. I think he's top 2 or top 3. So you can never really go wrong with those kind of players. But, I mean, if he can figure it out, he can get back on the ice nice and healthy. This will be an absolute steal for Vegas, but if he doesn't, Cody Glass will be probably not worth it. Although Nashville does know what they're getting into with Cody Glass, as he is a really good player for them. Won't kind of steer you wrong, but he will be a overall really quality player and won't really mess up that often. He'll play a good defensive game, a little bit of offense, that kind of guy. And then just in general, obviously each team is looking for a new guy. Philly has a terrible defense core right now. They kind of have to refigure it out. But Nashville obviously is looking for some more forwards. Their defense is quite solid. And then for Vegas, they're kind of throwing it away to hope that Patrick can become what they're looking for. And if he doesn't, it's whatever, because it's Cody Glass. He's not going to completely ruin it, but he'll play a pretty second line, first line kind of game for Nashville. So overall, the grading on these trades, I give the Flyers probably a B+. They addressed one of their key issues. The one thing I would say is they gave away Nolan Patrick. I'm not sure they quite needed to. But I believe if he doesn't come back to what he used to be, this is an absolute steal for the Flyers. Obviously, getting Ellis for practically Philip Myers, that's a great trade for them. For the Predators, I believe that they got what they wanted out of this trade. Obviously, their whole goal was to get Cody Glass, and they probably talked with Vegas and tried to figure out how to maneuver it. So once they said the Flyers, there's Nolan Patrick, they're like, okay, let's go get this guy. So I believe the Nashville Predators addressed another issue, so I'd give them an A-. And for the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm not going to give them a grade. I'm going to give them a to be determined based on how Nolan Patrick ends up faring. So if he does play in every game next year, I think it'll be an A. If he plays well, it'll be an A+, because you're not giving much up in Cody Glass. I know he is a pretty good player, but I do believe that if Patrick plays to what he's capable of, without a doubt, Vegas wins the trade. But if he doesn't, then it kind of gets a little bit sketchy, as Philly also gets boosted. I believe if Patrick doesn't play well, Philly gets an A+, Nashville gets an A, and in terms of Vegas, they'll probably get about a D, because if Patrick isn't playing, you're basically just giving Cody Glass away for free. But overall, this is really a different trade, not one that I would have been looking for. And you can kind of start to see, especially throughout the day, how it's been about trying to get rid of guys that Seattle would take. Obviously, Patrick was one that they were looking at. Ellis, they wanted to, for Nashville, they wanted to protect other guys. And I think with Ellis coming in, he replaces Myers on the chart. Ghost Despair is still the only defense that is really going to be taken a look at by Seattle. I don't think they'll end up picking him and rather going with Voracek. And then for Nashville, obviously getting the extra players that they can protect will be huge for them. Philip Myers won't be selected by Seattle most likely, although you don't know that for sure. There's always some wacky picks in that draft. And then for Vegas, obviously Nolan Patrick, the to-be-determined player. He will either be a boom or bust for him. I don't think there'll be a middle ground. But yeah, so if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. If you liked it, drop a like. If you really liked it, consider subscribing. Tell all your friends about it, and leave a comment down below your thoughts on the trade. Until next time, see ya.